I would sort of like to stitch together some of the most frequently asked questions as kind of historian of Dexter. First question everyone asks is usually, how did you come up with that? And I've said this story so many times it starts to sound like I made it up, but it's true. I first thought up the idea of Dexter when I was asked by the Kiwanis to give a little talk to their business luncheon group. And I want to say I think the Kiwanis is a wonderful organization. I was vice president of the Key Club in high school, right here in Miami. And that's a Kiwanis front organization. But I was sitting at the head table and I was watching the people eating and talking with food in their mouths, which I was raised to believe is wrong, and handing cards back and forth and smiling and giggling and backhanding each other, and the idea just popped into my head that serial killing isn't always a bad thing. So I started taking notes on a series of those little napkins, and it's like, anybody here an expert on French tragedy? It's either Racine or Corneille, and I can't remember. One of them came bursting out of his office after 3 days in there and said, "My new play is completely done. Now all I have to do is write the words." So that's where I was with Dexter by the time I got home that day. And after that, it was just a matter of writing the words. And I wanted to write something a little bit different. I may have gone too far. And it's a burden, too, because just at the point in my life where people are starting to look at me in a very strange way, and those of them who feel bold enough usually say, "You're kind of a sick bastard, huh?" The next big step was the thing with Showtime, which is really what kicked it into high gear. And people ask what the big difference is between print and television, and I have one story that illustrates it perfectly. I have some good friends here in Miami who are cops and have been on the force for a while. And when I told them this idea, they gave me the name and number and email of the guy here in Miami that does blood spatter for the police. And I wrote him, and I called him, and I sent emails. This went on for about 6 weeks, and I got no answer. And finally, after about 6 weeks, he wrote back and said, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. And that was the end of it. So I had to buy Forensics for Dummies. Anyway, to kind of have a few years, when I met Michael C. Hall on the set of shooting the first season of Dexter, I said to him, did you get any help in learning some stuff about blood spatter? And he laughed. He said, you know the guy who does it here in Miami? And I said, yes. He was waiting for my plane. He spent 3.5 days walking me all around, showing me things, showing people ads. So, when you were saying earlier about how authors become famous, there it is, right there. A lot of people want to know what I think about the show, too. And I always feel like I'm lying when I say it, even though it's true, because no matter what I thought, unless I'm a total idiot, I'm going to say I like it. Because it just paid for my daughter's first year in college. But I do like the show. I think in general they stick really close to the books, and if you're not sure about that and want to see if I am lying, then I urge you to go buy more copies of the book than the text. But when I first heard that Michael C. Hall was cast, and I wasn't sure who it was, they told me it's the guy from 6 Feet Under. And I thought they meant Peter Strauss, the blonde guy. And I went, okay, he could probably pull it off, I guess. He's kind of smarmy and charming. Why not? But no, the other one, the gay brother. I said, the short little gay guy that talks to corpses. I said, yeah, that's him. He's a good actor. And I said, shoot me. How can you do the part? And then the first day I was on the set, I walked right past him and didn't recognize him. Because He's a shapeshifter. That's the only answer. He's totally different physically. And he's taller and thinner, and his face is different. And from day one, from the first line I saw him say on camera, I thought he was terrific, and I still think so. And if there's anybody out here who votes for the Emmys, shame. Shame. My God, what are you people thinking? The new book, Dexter in the Dark, deals with how many people have read at least one book and know about this? Oh God, that's great. Thank you. Thank you so much, because I have another kid ready for college. The new book, if you haven't read it, deals with Dexter losing the dark passenger, which is the little inner voice that kind of helps him along when he does his things. And it kind of points back to what I originally wanted to do with the series, which was to write a charming, funny, socially acceptable sociopath that people liked. And I had this is where the thing comes from. I had in graduate school a Romanian directing teacher who used to say, when he was directing a scene a certain way, he would say, "We are making the people to laugh, and then to think that maybe this is illegal." And that's kind of what I wanted to do. Is have people go, "Dexter is so great, but ooh." And that's where that comes from, the concept of the illegal laugh, which has become part of my lexicon. So in this new book, I'm trying to take it a little step further by defining him without the dark passenger. Those are most of my frequently asked questions about Dexter, except I would like to add that something I have observed which totally floors me is that nobody really gives a damn about the books or the TV shows. They like him. And they're starting to treat him like he's a real person. And my agent and my editor called me up and go, "He's becoming iconic." "Yeah, he's iconic now." "Yeah, Dexter's iconic." And I have to believe this is a good thing. And it's not quite like using the word impact as a verb. I'm serious. I taught writing for a while. And I would say to the students, if you use the word impact as a verb, I will impact you in the nose. But it seems strange to me that the character is so much more important to people than like any of the media that are presenting the character. It also seems strange and a little bit ominous to me that it's become very popular in France. And I kind of don't know how to take that, because now there's me and there's Jerry Lewis, and I'm at a loss. But one last thing about the difference between the two media, which is something that seems to interest people, is I would just like to say in closing that as far as I know, everybody goes up to Michael Hall and tells him what a good actor he is, including me. And so far, nobody that I know of goes up to him and says, "Christ, you're a sick bastard, aren't you?"